I'm Anubhav Ranjan and you're watching Ritam. The latest meeting between Alex Soros, son of American billionaire George Soros, and Bangladesh's interim government chief Muhammad Yunus is a glaring red flag, a telltale sign of layered ambiguity. This development, cloaked under the guise of economic reforms, comes at a time when US President Donald Trump has decisively frozen financial aid to Yunus administration. The question is, why exactly is Soros plotting in Bangladesh and how does it impact India? George Soros, a long-time adversary of India's interests, has thrown his full weight behind Yunus's illegitimate government. The Open Society Foundation's OSF, a global web of influence founded by Soros, is notorious for its role in undermining sovereign governments. This is the second meeting between Alex Soros and Yunus in just 3 months. The first occurred in New York in October, immediately after the fall of Sheikh Hasina's government. This repeated engagement raises severe diplomatic and strategic concerns, exposing the direct involvement of foreign actors in shaping Bangladesh's unstable political landscape. The timing of this meeting is highly suspect. It comes just days after Trump's administration announced a halt to billions of dollars in aid to Bangladesh, effectively cutting off international financial backing to the controversial interim government. Yet, Alex Soros wasted no time in extending support to Yunus, hailing his leadership and vowing OSF's assistance. In a social media post, Soros openly discussed OSF's intent to deepen cooperation on economic reforms and investment, a known tactic used by OSF to tighten its grip on a country's political system. OSF has been repeatedly accused of orchestrating regime changes and fueling unrest under the pretense of democratic reforms. Its involvement in Bangladesh is no exception. Yunus' so-called interim government has promised elections within 3 months, yet there is no real indication that these will happen, exacerbating the already volatile political crisis in the country. The growing discontent among opposition parties further fuels speculation that Bangladesh is slipping into a deeper abyss of foreign-controlled instability. The larger concern is how this meeting directly affects India. George Soros has never concealed his hostility toward Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government. OSF has been accused of supporting an independent Kashmir, an act of direct subversion against India's sovereignty. The consequences of Soros's increased influence in Bangladesh could be catastrophic. Under Sheikh Hasina's tenure, India already witnessed a surge in illegal immigration from Bangladesh. If Yunus under Soros's patronage consolidates power, this trend will likely worsen, leading to severe demographic and economic destabilization in India's northeastern states. Additionally, Bangladesh's border could become an even bigger security threat with increased trafficking, infiltration, and extremist activity. It is important to recognize that Soros is no mere businessman. He is an ideological crusader determined to reshape nations to fit his agenda. He openly admits to disregarding conventional diplomatic norms when interfering in regime changes. His track record of meddling in sovereign nations under the garb of philanthropy is well documented. During the final days of his presidency, former US President Joe Biden even awarded Soros the highest civilian honor, further emboldening his disruptive agenda. The collapse of the Hasina government was not an organic political transition, but the result of coordinated efforts from foreign power centers, including Soros's expansive network. Even Hasina herself pointed fingers at a white man-led foreign ecosystem, manipulating events behind the scenes, a clear nod to Soros and his Western allies. Institutions like BRS University, which receives substantial funding from OSF's Open Society University network, further expose the well-coordinated effort to embed foreign influence deep within Bangladesh's institutions. While President Donald Trump has been vocal in his opposition to Soros, his stance alone will not suffice to counter this growing threat. India must take independent, decisive measures to shield itself from the fallout of Soros's interference in Bangladesh. The unchecked expansion of Soros-backed entities in India's neighboring country could spell disaster for regional stability. Bangladesh is now at the center of a high-stakes geopolitical maneuver orchestrated by Soros. India cannot afford to sit doing nothing while a hostile power structure takes root next door. The time to act is now, through diplomatic countermeasures, tighter border security, and stringent checks on foreign-funded organizations operating in India. With Soros' influence growing unchecked, ignoring the looming threat could prove to be a grave mistake. India must take a firm stand to ensure its national security and regional dominance remain uncompromised. Jai Hind.